I had a woman who I was super cool with tell me one time, Mecca, don't leave this world without having a baby.
Wow.
I mean, don't get out of here without leaving a piece of yourself behind. Don't leave this world without having a baby. Shout out to the hood healer. She sat me down and said, your purpose is fatherhood. I was like, you don't know me. you don't know me, lady.
Interesting.
Yeah, she according to her, I don't want to be a struggle parent.
Define struggle parent.
Okay, all right.
Welcome to another episode of the Rap Dad Show, shot here in the Oak Room at the iconic Algonquin Hotel in New York City. Today is a dope, special, different episode. Usually I sit with rappers or, people in the hip hop culture and have conversations about fatherhood, about parenting. This time around, I'm gonna be sitting with a dope journalist, MC, writer, host, executive. He wears a lot of hats, but none of them are father. So I think it's going to be a dope combo for a lot of the fellas out there who are in a similar place, contemplating fatherhood or not. Mecca,
Sir,
welcome to the Rap Dad Show,
thank
man.
you for having me. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited, bro, to have this conversation with you, B.
As much as I talk about my dad, this was like inevitable.
Word.
Feels like it.
And that's I love the wisdoms and the gems that you drop that your pop taught you. And I learn a lot more about you through those. And I can see how thoughtful you are, how much, wisdom that he's given to you, which is why you can articulate and look at things in a different way and give us, mechanisms and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So let's start there. Let's start with your relationship with your dad. How was that?
It was great.
Dope.
It was great. Rest in peace, Pop.
Rest in peace.
I lost him in I think it was 04.
Okay.
I think it was 04. I lost him, and nothing's been the same since. You don't ever really get past it. It's different. It's not
How old were you then?
better. Oh, a kid.
The kid, right.
Like, I was a kid. I was not a child, but I was definitely a kid.
Yeah.
Too soon to want to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
there's so many things I'm doing now, and like my first or second thought would be, man, I wish Pop could see this. Like, I remember how proud he was when I started working at the Source.
Right.
That was a big deal for him. Like, my
Nice.
name was like really small in the credits, but he made it a point to go find my name, and I was sending him mad copies of the magazine just so he could he was just giving them away.
Word.
Wasn't hustling him nothing. No, just he circled where my name was and then hand him the magazine like my son did. My son's in here, and then when I started writing, extra heavy. If I did a cover story, he was.
Word.
If I did anything that was on the cover, I didn't even have to write the cover story.
Right.
If my piece was listed on the cover, that was all he needed to see. I'm gonna need about 3 or 4 30, 60, 70, 80 copies. Just go and send me a box. Send me a box of those. Just send me a box down. He was like, super proud. So in these days, with everything happening, and you walk, I walk around from spot to spot. I'm going to my desk. I'm handling my business during the day, and somebody will stop and say, "Yo, just want you to know, I really appreciate you on the show.
Yes, man.
The way you be shouting your pops out, that's real. That's real. Like,
yes.
I lost my father, and or my father, me and my pops is tight. And like we, they don't remember who the guest is. They don't remember what we were wearing. They don't remember what time of day it was. They remember me saying something about my pops.
Yeah, man.
They remember one of my father's lines. And I wish he could be here for that.
Word.
Like, just to see this part.
Yeah.
Where all the things he told me are paying off and coming to fruition, and I'm actualizing them and realizing them. I'm put my hand on the thing that he taught me how to do.
Right.
And I'm doing it to the best of my ability. And this is the part I've said it before. Man, I wish Pop could say this part.
Yes. Now, are you when you're, and I think I know the answer to this, but when you're sharing the gems that your pop share with you, it's obviously always fitting in the moment and in the context of the conversation. But do you even think that you're keeping his wisdom and his spirit and his energy alive and continuing it and bringing it into the present? Or is his wisdom just so present and top of mind for you that it's just natural?
Two things can be true at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Two things can be true at the same time.
Word.
The situation hits and the words pop in my head. We were talking off camera a second ago, talking about ageism, and shout out to Jamie. He was like, "I'll get you back," and blah. "I'll get you back next month." Mecca's patient, and here's my father in my head. You deal with a young man's wrath and a grown man's patience.
Bars.
Right there on the spot. Now, I've discovered that I'm keeping his name and his memory alive because people come to me and say, "Yo, you said that thing about your pops." Like, oh, yo, your father must have been
Yes.
Stuff like when I get those
man,
walking around, it's like, okay, put some numbers on the board.
Right.
You may never meet my father, but you know who he is.
Yes.
If nothing else, because his firstborn son is repeating some, just some words.
Yeah, man. So tell me about him. Like, what was he into? Like, why was he so wise? Like,
I don't know.
What
He
did
played
he do?
football. He was like a professional football player. He played for the Raiders, and I believe he played for the Jets. This is all way before my time, so I just like remember seeing the pictures.
Okay.
But like he played football.
Interesting.
He was always like, he did security.
Okay. So he was a giant.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Not running back.
Okay.
Yeah, not like a linebacker,
Okay,
but like,
okay.
he was always,
Right.
for me, he always looked
Right.
huge, and he did dad strength level shit that always just kind of
Such a great point. Yeah.
always kind of
Right.
freaked me out a little
Impressive.
bit.
Yeah,
Like, how are you able to
Yes.
do that? Like, grab me by the front of the shirt, lift me off my feet, put me in a chair, and the
Right.
shirt don't rip.
Right.
Weird dad strength. That's what I
dope.
think of. But like, he was I think between him, my grandfather, his father,
Mm-hmm.
and his mother, my pops played in the streets a bit. My grandfather played in the streets a bit. My father had a reputation for fist fighting in the streets. And these are all stories I get secondhand now that he's gone. Like, I don't get to see any of this, but I shout out my Uncle Ronnie. He'll sit me down anytime, Thanksgiving, eat whatever holiday the family gets together. He makes it a point to give me a story about my pop.
I love that, bro.
Yeah, it's the closest I can get to him as a young man. I know he ran around with Russell Simmons for a while.
Okay.
Back in Queens when they were promoting clubs, like before all of Russell was like, folding his legs and getting on his zen.
Right. Before
My father took, I still got the picture in my phone. My father took my younger brother to Fat Farm to meet Russell.
Okay.
Right. And I was working at the Source at the time. And he wanted me to take the day off and come with him to Fat Farm to meet Russell Simmons. Hey, he's a big deal in your business. This is somebody you should meet. Your father knows him. We're cool. Let me introduce you. I refused.
Why?
Because I was an idiot.
Okay.
Because I was an out and out idiot. Because in my mind, I didn't want anyone to say that I didn't earn my place. There's no other answer for it.
Come on.
My idiocy was fueled by a deep sense of insecurity.
Oh,
A
okay.
deep sense.
So not ego and pride.
No. I felt like everyone around me at the source at the time was college educated, and I wasn't.
Okay.
And I was super insecure about that.
Okay.
And then everybody around me was college educated. I wasn't. I felt like they were all college level writers. Now, never mind the fact that I was reading at a college level in the 4th grade, but I was under the talented and gifted. Shout out
Hey.
to the program tag. But I felt like an imposter. I felt like a fraud. I felt like I'm in this space with all these
qualified people, in your opinion.
Which is so funny because I went on to coin the phrase "a qualified opinion." I say that now when I respond back to people. But yes, back then I felt like this walking off the street
Right.
around a bunch of Division I professionally trained players, and I thought that any minute now they're gonna sniff me out as a fraud.
The jig is up.
They're gonna read one of my pieces and be like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Word.
Why is he here? Blah, 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 blah. And I spent every time I put pen to pad, and I didn't start off as a writer, I started off as a circulation coordinator.
Okay.
But because, shout out to Jeremy Miller, my J Mills,
Right.
who actually could be on. He's the guy who gave me the job at the source. And it just so happened that as a mentor, which he became, he had done every job at the source. He had been editor-in-chief, he had been music editor, he had been he had done all the jobs. And now he was in the technical part, he was in circulation. But that was a choice. He moved over and did that. So he was able to teach me every area of writing. So he gave me my first shot. And it was originally an internship. It was supposed to go to college educated, to someone in college.
Right.
That's how you got it. It was college internship. I wasn't old enough to go to college. I was still technically a minor. He kind of looked at the resume and was like, "Oh, this doesn't say what college you're in. Which one?" I said, "Okay, I got like a 50-50 shot at this. Like I can either lie and hopefully he won't look it up.
Right.
And I don't know how that goes, or I could just tell the truth and see where this gets me." Now, I looked old enough to be there. I had like gray hair and it was like all tall and lanky. I had gray hair at 12.
Yo, that's wild.
Yeah, my pop's premature grade, I premature grade. My mother doesn't have any gray hairs. That's why this looks like this.
Word.
That's why this looks like this. But he kind of looked at my resume and was like, all right, I won't hold that against you. Just like that. I won't hold that against you. 6 letters changed my entire life. He let me in the door. I worked my ass off. I got the opportunity to write. He's like, "You ever thought about writing anything?" You know you can. You just walk over there and tell him you want to, Oh, I was shook. I said no like the first 4 or 5 times. Not that I couldn't write, but I just knew. Oh, that was the other thing. I also didn't want to disrespect real writers by assuming I could just walk into their thing and be one of them. Like something about that I felt like it would be a double whammy. Like not only does he not belong here, but he's walking around like one of us.
Right.
Yeah, you taking the place of an actual writer. This check you're getting could be going to somebody who really writes. Those two things.
Yeah.
When my father's like, "Let me introduce you to Russell Simmons," I'm like, how much more line jumping am I gonna do?
Right.
I'm already like, I'm living by a thread here. Like it felt like any second that the guillotine was gonna fall and the jig would be up and I'd be packing up my little box and escorted out, ass back to circulation. You gonna introduce me to this dude?
Right.
Now I'm gonna have that one up over everybody. I ain't paid no dues. It just feels like I couldn't. I guess so. I guess pride did have somewhat of it, but it was mostly insecurity.
Word.
It was mostly just I didn't want to get busted.
Right.
And then be a huge fraud. Now now Russell Simmons, like the guy. Back then he was
right. Oh,
the guy.
Come on.
2000, 2001 Fat Farm era. Like, come on, he's that guy. And now I'm rocking with him. I get exposed as a fraud. My pops is looking at me in disgrace because he introduced me to Russell Simmons. Russell got to turn his back on me. It was dramatic in my head. It was super dramatic in my head. It was an episode of Dynasty in my mind. But you know, you ask me why.
Right.
Stupidity, idiocy. I guess a level of pride, super insecurity kept me from taking advantage of a resource, of you know, one extra rung on the ladder.
Yes.
Which, what father doesn't want to give that to his children?
Want, bro.
I'm trying to get you an advantage in life. I just want you to benefit from my knowledge, my wisdom,
anyway,
my resources, my friendships, my goodwill, my ambassadorship. I did all of this for me, and now I can directly deposit that in your bank. You can you can benefit from my karma from your father being a good dude,
right,
and having good standing with someone who happened to be a giant.
Right.
Because when he wasn't a giant, y'all were good people.
Right.
Why wouldn't I want to pay? So I look back on it now like,
yeah. Yes. No.
Sorry, Pop.
Right. That's wisdom right there. We talked about your father. We talked about the wisdom that he left you with that now permeates through your work and your voice and things of that nature. When did the thought start to come into your mind about fatherhood for you?
I had a woman who I was super cool with tell me one time, Mecca, don't leave this world without having a baby.
Wow.
I mean, don't get out of here without leaving a piece of yourself behind. Don't leave this world without having a baby. And that's when it actually occurred to me that, like, somebody might want me to stick around. Like, that was the wildest compliment I ever had. It's not like she was volunteering for the job, but she was dead ass like, don't, like, whatever you do, don't check out without having a kid. And I think right around then it kind of hit me that all right, like,
right,
okay, I guess,
right,
sure, but I up until then it's still a scary concept. I see dudes like you running around with like multiples,
like bro,
3 different versions of yourself, all with the same amount of toner, just going down. You managed to keep the ink
exactly
each one of them. I think about it a lot. You know, a lot of my peers are like way ahead of me childhood wise.
Yeah.
I got like some homeboys got a 3-year-old. Same homeboy got a kid graduating college. Like these 35 and up, there's like 40-year-old, these early 40-year-old wilding out here today.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. I purposely did not want that life. I was like, we're gonna have them now. And then when we stop, we gonna stop. We're not gonna pick this up again.
Unless you love it. I'm not here to judge. I've seen some women tell me like they're super happy when they're pregnant. I know some dudes who, to me, seem like born fathers. Like you were a dad before you had a kid.
That's a great point.
It was just waiting to happen.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Fatherhood is kind of like their purpose. It's where they thrive. And I know some of these dudes I'm talking about weren't worth a hot damn on a cold day.
Damn.
And you see them in their fatherhood role, though.
That's even iller.
It's a different animal.
That's even iller. Man.
So, and I had, I sat with like a, shout out to the hood healer. She sat me down and said, you know, your purpose is fatherhood. I was like, you don't know me. you don't know me, lady.
Interesting.
Yeah, she, according to her.
Your purpose is fatherhood.
According to her. She said, you know, your purpose is fatherhood. You're like made to be a father.
That's ill because when you said that the young lady told you not to leave this earth without leaving a piece of you behind, I thought of all of the things that you shared about your father and how you are the continuation.
Wild, right?
Wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are there like trepidations? Is there
I'm scared to
fear?
death. Scared to death. Not even gonna hold you. Scared to death. Almost every aspect of fatherhood. That's a lie. That's a lie. Being afraid has never stopped me from doing things.
Good.
I've been scared plenty of times. I've fought dudes twice my size. I was afraid the entire time. But we gonna have this fight.
Right.
This is gonna happen. Music. First got started, shook, looked around at everybody out here doing it, was like, oh man, this may not end well. Did it anyway. Did it scared. But fatherhood is one of those things where it's not me. It's not just me. It's somebody else. And this little person is looking at me the way I looked at my dad, and that's intimidating. Because I used to look at my father like,
yes,
it's like less than a man, less than a god, more than a man.
Yeah,
type.
I know the vibe.
So the concept of living up to that, number one.
Right.
Number two, I don't want to be a struggle parent.
Define struggle parent.
Okay, all right. My father lived in DC,
Mm-hmm.
and then he moved down to Virginia, be close to his parents, right, and his sisters. I was a typical kid. I spent summers with my pop.
Okay.
Right. As you get older, it was one thing when I was, single digits.
Yeah.
Running around a yard
Yeah.
was all the entertainment.
The greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, we go to a park, I'm having a field day. We go to the lake, I'm having a field day. Anywhere we go,
Right.
a car ride.
That's not home.
Yeah, like, it's great. This is great. I'm out the window like the dog.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. As you get older, what entertains you gets more expensive.
Yes. My dad says you never grow up. You own your toys just get more expensive.
Bruh. Bro, you hit your teenage years, you still don't really have a grasp of money, but you just know you need it to do X, Y, Z, A, B, and C.
Right.
I remember, I'll never forget, I came down one summer and my pops, he used to save money. So when I came down, we could do stuff. And I remember coming down one summer and we were having a good time as always, but something felt different. We couldn't go do this thing right there. We had to wait like a day or two. And couldn't do this thing right then. Later on tonight we'll go. And it was stuff like that. And I remember one day I asked him, we were coming home, and I asked him, hey, Pop, let's get pizza. Like, instead of the food at the house, and I wasn't thinking.
Right.
It was food at the house.
Right.
Great food. But we out with my father. Let's
Right.
get pizza. And he didn't have it on him at that moment. He didn't have it. No, or he had it, but that money was supposed to go to somebody else.
Something else, right.
And I remember the look on his face. Damn. Trying to figure out if he was going to tell me no, or if he was going to risk whatever
that was intended
came from not having the money. And it was quick, but I saw it.
How old were you? But you saw it and you recognized you saw the matrix behind his mind, like contemplating this.
11, 12,
okay,
something like that. I was 13, maybe somewhere around that, because I remember beefing with him about like facial hair and why this is happening.
Right.
How do I stop this?
How do I stop it?
Like,
not happening, kid.
Yeah, no, it really didn't. It really never did. But I just remember the look on his face, and it was anxiety mixed with disgust, mixed with like sprinkled with like a little fear.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quick. It was super quick, but I happened to be looking him right in the face when I asked him. And I just remember he made this face, and it was almost like, fuck. In that one moment. And he went, yeah. No, cool. What do you want on it? And I changed my mind. Like, no, never mind. I just remembered we still have food, and I really liked the food from the other. I forgot what it was we had, but
right.
like whatever.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, right now,
Right.
whatever it is that takes this look off your face.
Yes.
I don't want to.
Man.
And he, no, we can have it if you want it. Now he's
right, insist
doubling up.
Yeah.
Like, no, we gonna get pizza. And something else like that happened. Like he was making up for that little thing. He took me to like ride go-karts.
Okay.
And then he went to go pay his rent. And I remember him talking to his landlord. He was like, I'll have the rest. Just give me till tonight to bring the rest to you. He was panicking. And I just remember like, that's my fault.
Damn.
I did that. He decided to take me to go-karts, but that was I applied that pressure, not understanding.
Right.
I did that. And I never wanted to have that look on my face when my kid asked me for something.
Right.
Something somewhere in there, I never wanted, and that's what I consider like a struggle parent. I never wanted to be like, you can't have it because I don't have it.
Right. What I love about fatherhood from a spiritual standpoint is that it forced me to realize that I never had it in control.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people love to throw around this term, and shout out to immigrant parents, but like a steady job or like, a job that you can have for a long time. There's no such thing as those things in real life. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in this industry for 20 years. I've been at maybe 10 companies in those 20 years. Now I was maybe at 4 or 5, labels and television networks in 1 year, and then I've been at MTV again for 7. You know what I mean? But in totality, my resume probably looks like I can't hold a job. You know what I mean? Not that I'm like on top of my game.
With no fault to you.
At
no fault
all.
to the talent, no fault to the skill. One of the worst things I see is good people losing positions who didn't do anything wrong. These clean outs that they're doing at labels, you think the label is incompetent. Meanwhile, good people who showed up every day sucks. You can't even tell them to go get a stable job. Where's that at?
Where they do that at?
Now the question is, am I not having a kid for selfish reasons? Or am I not bringing a child into this world for selfless reasons? Do I not want to put a kid through what they're going to have to go through in this world? Maybe this kid is made to be stronger than me, and they can actually handle what's happening out here. Now, can their father handle it? It becomes the question.
Right.
And then we're back to me being selfish again. So this is me wrestling with, it's now the time to do it. Maybe I should go for it. Get my first M and then do it. Like, how does this work? What if I don't get the M? Do I still get the kid?
A man who is not yet a father hasn't unlocked their full potential yet, in my opinion. This is how I feel. I was having this conversation with Jay Mills. And we both agreed, like, I've achieved some of the most amazing things in my life, things that I never in a million years thought that I would achieve, that were like too unrealistic to be goals on a bucket list. And I've achieved them. Watching my kids in pure bliss doing what they love is 10 times greater than anything that I've experienced that I was able to do within myself. And I'm telling you, like, I bought Yo MTV Raps back. I bought it back in Asia to award-winning.
Fire.
I bought it back in the UK. Same ratings killed. I bought it back stateside. That's something that you talk about the crack. I grew up in the crack era in my crib watching that because I couldn't leave the crib.
Yeah.
To think, 30 some years later that I would be responsible for bringing that brand back to the television for a new audience to experience. It was never in a million years what I thought that I could do that. And then do it to the level of which I did pales in
Awards and
comparison.
acclaim and
Pales in comparison to just seeing my sons laugh and like be proud of themselves for doing something. Not even like their own career, like, just regular shit. So I feel like that in and of itself, like to your point about, the homies that weren't worth a damn before they became fathers. I feel like fatherhood unlocks something else in you. And I feel like you would be missing that thing had you not experienced, what fatherhood was. It's like you are operating at like half capacity, if you will. When you become a dad, it's a different like a different consciousness opens up in your mind. And like, it's crazy, bro. So I would say, from my perspective, the dude that I was before I became a father versus who I am now is night and day. And I was a great guy before I became a dad, but nowhere near the person that I am today in terms of the leader that I am, the teammate that I am. Like, just being able to have any type of concern or empathy for other humans. I really wasn't that dude. You know what I mean? Like all of these different things that I can only attribute to the fact that I have other people whose lives are more important than mine. And this is another thing when you talk about, if your son or your child will be strong enough to deal with today. We have a saying that's been passed on in my family from my father to me and then me to my kids. You will be a better man than I was, than I am. My father would tell me that all the time. And I look at my dad the way you looked at yours, like, not quite a god, but definitely more than a mortal. You know what I mean? And for him to tell me that, it really, like, I would really sit and like think about like, yo, how am I going to be better than him? And then with my sons, we were in the car. It was just me and my two oldest. My youngest was in the crib. And we had the conversation. It's like, look, Mikhail, your little brother, if he's not better than all of us, then we've all failed him collectively. You all have to pour into him just as much as I. When Joe was about to become, my oldest son was about to become a big brother, we set him up. Like, what are you going to teach your brother? Like, what are you going to show him? Like, how are you going to lead him? Like, these were things that we were pouring into him before my son was born. Like, just preparing him to be that leader. God made you the firstborn because he knew that you were going to be able to be a leader to your younger siblings. So like that's not even a question of are they going to be stronger or better than I. It's my job to make them better than me because my father put that on my shoulders. And I remember the moment where he acknowledged that I had achieved it, which was even crazier to me. He was like, I told you that you were going to be better than me. And look what you've accomplished. I've never been able to do X, Y, and Z. And like literally went down a list of shit that I didn't even think. But because it was programmed in me and because I remembered that over and over again, like, you're going to be greater than your superhero. It's like, and it happened because it was it wasn't something that, it wasn't a mission that he gave me that I had to go off into the world and figure out on my own. It was something that he shepherded me along, but it was also a challenge that I took, like I really took seriously. And so I feel like to that point also, and now this ain't me trying to convince you, this is just me trying to share.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? But I agree. I feel like the world needs kids who will grow up with a certain set of morals and like cut from a certain cloth. And if that cloth is discontinued, then the world won't be a better place or where it should be if we don't continue to put that in. You know what I mean?
No pressure though.
Yeah.
No, I'm messing with you.
And I feel like you're one of those, you're cut from that cloth.
Thank you.
And it's shown in your work, but more importantly, it's shown in your reputation as a man. You know what I mean? Like I've never met anyone who has spoken ill of you and or, because sometimes, you know, in this industry, when you're not like doing your fact checking or doing your due diligence, but when you have a conversation, yo, you ever met such and such? What do you think of this person or whatever? Energetically, you can feel if somebody's full of shit or not when they're talking about you in a certain way, or not wanting to, you know, bad talk someone else. They're kind of reserved on their the way that you know, either they give praise or they don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Never, no one's ever hesitated to sing your praises or you know, or say what a great guy you are. And of course we get that energy, but you never know until you know. Some people out here faking the funk and they really pieces of shit, but they do a great job at, you know.
Amazing job.
You know what I mean? So I feel like, yeah, it would be a disservice if you didn't continue.
First of all, thank you. I have a terrible time accepting compliments. So first of all, I'm still working that part out. Second of all, again, it's not that I receive all of that. I hope being selfish doesn't stop me. Nowadays, I wonder like what would stop me from, you know, it's not the woman. It's not the woman. I trust to pick.
Right.
You know, I've made enough mistakes to know where the good stuff is.
Word.
And what kind of woman I would. So I'm not worried about that necessarily. It's really me.
Right.
It's really, I'm not going to hold you. It's really me. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. It's really me. Like I want, and I'm trying not to be the guy who waits for it to be perfect.
Yeah, it never will be.
Exactly, which is why I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
However, I'm also not trying to be the guy who just does it randomly. There's so many random dads out here.
Yes.
And I don't know if maybe growing up in a house with like my sisters and my mother, I got to hear about how effed up some of these dudes can be. And then you see situations like my boys who don't have fathers, and you see how them niggas come out.
Yes.
Like, man, Jesus Christ, not that dude.
Yes.
If I brought that guy around, like, man.
Yeah.
So, and you know, some of them go hard body karate to make sure they don't end up anything like that.
Yes.
There's always that.
Shout out to them for sure.
Right. There's always that league. So 100% respect to those kids.
Yes.
But you can see when you can almost smell some of these men and women who don't have dads in their lives. It's like, no, you one of those. You one of them. I'm not even saying you was raised by your mom, but you definitely didn't have your pops in your house.
Right.
He starts talking, you be looking at him, some of them philosophies and ideas you be having. Oh man, bring back shame. How are you not ashamed of the shit coming out of your mouth right now? And I think about being a dad in that respect and what I don't want to do wrong.
and it almost feels like I'm not gonna get a whole bunch of do-overs with this little person.
No,
Like
you're
I
not.
can't run it back and be like, all right, let's start over. Like you can't do that.
Nah.
So, again, it's not something that I'm actively avoiding
Right.
as much as it is something that I'm approaching with a supreme level of like reverence and consideration, and it's like, okay, this how we gonna do this?
Right.
Everybody slow down, everybody shut up, I gotta think. Like it's
Yes.
that kind of thing. So
Yes.
it's
Yes. No, you should. You should. And you're doing it right. And again, like, I feel like you are in a very blessed and unique position, because a lot of us become fathers, not necessarily randomly. I mean, some of us become fathers, just from sheer, like, just being stupid. Not.
hey, I'm keeping it.
Yeah,
Shit.
exactly. Some of us become, I'm keeping it dads.
Mm-hmm.
And, some of us are like, in great situations and relationships, in marriages, and then it happens and we welcome it, or, you are actually in a position to where you actually are holding the cards and making, the decision based on you. And I also feel like there is no selfishness when it comes to being considerate of other lives. You know what I mean? Like, the life that you would bring into the world, the life of the person whom which you would bring this, into the world with, they all deserve and require this level of thoughtfulness. You know what I mean?
Yes. Just to clarify, when I said selfish, I meant like in the bad way.
Yeah,
To
yeah, yeah.
myself, like, do I want to stop what I'm doing?
Yes.
And then not donate, but dedicate all this time to like this. Do I want to do that? Like it's kind of getting lit. Like,
Bro.
do I want to? But then again, how long you gonna not do this? And what do you really?
Yeah.
It's like I don't. It's terrible to say, but I'll just put it out there. It's kind of like you don't want to work a long time to get a very specific car, and then right when you're about to buy the car, you do this other thing that costs you a bunch of dough, and then the very next year the car actually goes on sale, and you could have got it for the amount of money you had. And you just spent the bread on
Right.
this other thing. Like, I don't want to be that guy either. So we can dance it. We can go around in a circle, but you're just getting a glimpse of my thought process as far as like being a father. And I'm surrounded by great dads.
That's another thing. Here's the other part, right? And I just thought about this. And again, I am not trying to persuade you to be a father, but I am, this is just coming to mind. You mentioned, the guys out in the world that don't have dads.
Mm-hmm.
When you become a father and you become one of the only present fathers in your child's friend group or in circle of influence, you low-key become a father figure to those other kids who will be around your child. And so, kind of a positive side effect to being the type of father that you would be in this world would not only your kids get to see that, but other people would get to see it as well. I've had people in my life who have come to me as adults and say, I built my family around the way your family looked. Or I learned, or your father was the only father I ever knew. You know what I mean? Like, so I also think of that. And then I think of a bunch of the dads that I've had on this show who have learned to learn that role is something that, you know, is true. Zoe Sama from the West Coast rapper, his son's football coach. He was just there to be his son's football coach. Wound up being one of the only fathers on the whole team.
Oh, wow.
Turned into like, now I'm bringing snacks to the field, and like now the kids are like learning who I am and wanting to talk to him about things that aren't football related, because he's the only present male that they see that is taking an interest. That's another thing that has decided to take an interest and pour into these kids in a way. You know what I mean? Like, so not only will your kid benefit, but there will be a lot of others who will benefit just from your presence and the man that you are. Because you're not the type of man that would parent your kid in the sea of kids and let the other dudes run wild. Like, I feel like you're the type to check some stuff even if it's, you know, not your...
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah.
Well, hey, what the hell are y'all doing?
Yes.
Come here, sit down. Yeah, I can see that.